Hello.
Welcome back to Chasing Whiskey. I'm Terry.
I'm James.
And what week are we on now, James?
We have to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Oh my God.
I know we never thought we'd get this far.
Well, I knew I'd drink that in bottles. Week 8. And I have a little surprise for James. He did see the box when he came in. We've got some glasses and we got a new box.
That is one fancy.
It's a big, tall box. This is Penderyn. And I need to move it up and down because there's so much box.
That's
It's so big.
That's what she said.
Cheers. So Penderyn, James, is a Welsh whiskey. And so we had talked about Canadian, US, Irish, Japanese, and of course we talked about Scottish and Scotch. And I found something that was made somewhere else. So I'm sure there are whiskeys from other regions as well. But the fact that I found something that was outside of those regions that we talked about made me go, I am buying this box.
I am excited. That is very cool.
Yeah, so it shows on the box. The box is absolutely stunning. I don't know if, it has a big red dragon, which apparently is it's on the flag of Wales.
Okay.
And Wales, for those of you who don't know, is the lower part of the UK there, right beside England. Did you know that? I kind of knew where it was, but I wouldn't have been able to
I'm still
draw it on the
thinking
map.
about the dragon because I think I knew that Scotland is the unicorn.
Oh, I'm not going to say what it is because I'll probably be wrong.
England is the lion. It's the only predator to the lion. Of course, it doesn't exist, but
okay.
I think there's
a story there?
You guys know the story.
Yeah, I don't know the story. We'll have to figure that one out. Maybe before we travel there.
Maybe it is the dragon. Anyway.
But anyway, yeah, so I thought the box looked impressive. And then I realized it was from a different region, and I'm like, I am buying that. What do you think?
Cool. That, to me, because I look for presentation, that is all presentation, and I cannot wait to unbox it.
Look at how tall it is. Do the honors.
Please.
Do the honors. Help yourself to open her up, and then let's see what it looks like. Because I'm really curious, because it's only 700 mils.
That is a very solid box.
Only 700 mils. I'm expecting a very tall, narrow bottle here.
Here we go.
I had to move the box. Wow, it is. It's almost like a wine bottle.
Yes.
It's very much like a wine bottle.
Let me put that right here for now.
It won't fit on that shelf.
Okay. And take a look at that. It is ginormous.
That's what she said.
Yes. Product of Wales.
Yeah, very nice.
Malt whiskey.
Try not to read the notes.
Nope.
Tasting notes. I see some tasting notes. I'm not going to read them. Anyway, so Penderyn. Single malt Welsh whiskey, and this is Myth. And apparently there were 2 different bottles from Penderyn at the liquor store.
Okay.
One was a green box, and I just assumed it might have been peaty, so I grabbed the non-green box without even reading them. So I'm hoping it's not peaty. I don't know. And I'm assuming the green one was.
I'm looking forward to trying.
Yeah, me too. And I have no idea what it tastes like. I haven't read anything. I did see it on the box, and I on purpose turned the box away from me so I couldn't see it.
Very cool.
But yeah, so very nice.
So color?
In the glass, it looks more wheat, I would say, or even a light gold.
In the bottle?
Yeah, in the bottle with a clear glass. Yeah. So it's very, very nice. But yeah, so I'm quite impressed. I like the color of the label with the green and the dark gray. I think it looks quite nice.
Here we go.
Oh, that's so nice. Such a beautiful sound.
That's going to be interesting.
Okay. Shall you pour us a glass?
Okay.
A wee dram, if you will. Does it feel like you're pouring a glass of wine?
I'm much more excited. Is that?
Yeah, that's a valid point.
All right. Let's have a smell.
Sweet. Almost. Oh my gosh, I can actually smell something. I smell pear. And I usually can't smell a thing, but the very first thing I thought of when I smelled that was a pear. It literally just was like smacking me in the face.
There's a fruit. I'll be so impressed if there's pear on that label.
Well, if there is, I'm trying not to say it.
You'll never believe me.
No, exactly. No, but I mean, it just when I brought it up to my nose, I can't smell it now. And maybe I'm too aggressive on the nose or something like that, but as I got it close, I just had a small pear whiff. It definitely has a sweetness. There's no question about that. I mean,
It's got a very oily
finish on the
light
glass.
too, yeah.
Be interested to see what it's like in the palate. So there's the color in the glass. It's I would say a gold or a dark wheat.
It's dark, yeah.
It's dark for compared to the scotches. It's certainly not bourbon or rye like at all.
Yeah.
It's dark gold or yeah.
It smells wonderful.
Yeah, it does. Shall we have a sip?
Yes.
Cheers. Ooh. Popped.
It's brilliant. Don't know what I'm tasting,
I don't either.
but it's
I want to turn the bottle, not because I don't want you to show the label, because I don't want to read the notes. I want to like blind myself from the notes.
It's got that typical first glass where it's sweet and then it has kind of that abrupt finish,
Right.
which I'm guessing is going to go away when we do our second dram with the water. But it's very, very pleasant, straight out of the bottle.
It's 41% alcohol. I did take a look at that in the front. So, right on the
It's
edge.
got like a tang to it.
At the aftertaste, do you find? Or do you find it at the actual taste?
Right in the middle. Is there such a thing?
Sides of the tongue?
Yeah.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I don't know if I would have described it as tang, but I don't know what to describe it as. But a tang works. Let's call it that. But I see what you mean. It's like a little tiny bite on the sides. And normally you get the bite on the back. And yeah, it's not alcohol. It's something else, isn't it?
What always impresses me is how different whiskeys are.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It really, really is. This is a fantastic hobby. I highly recommend responsible whiskey tasting and trying to learn. The journey has been great. Which brings me to
the lesson of the week.
Yeah. So last week I asked myself, I was trying to pin it on James, how do we prepare our palates for whiskey tasting? Because I've often said I can't really taste a something. And then when we read the bottle or whatever, then I can usually taste it. And I'm often wondering, is the thing I had for lunch influencing it? And how do we prepare our palates? So I did some research. I picked up a few small things.
Way to go, Wales.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So grab this, James. First thing, this. This is just sparkling water.
Okay.
So sparkling water just is a way to rinse your palate,
Okay.
but apparently better than just regular water. And I don't know why, can't figure it out, but I went through 5 or 6 different articles, and apparently sparkling water is a little bit of lemon too.
I could see the lemon kind of cleaning.
Yeah, clean your palate. So anyway, so we probably should have done this beforehand, but oh well. Look, we can do the logo. You ready? Cheers. So, and definitely when you're doing tasting across multiple
Yes.
whiskeys, this helps to clear the previous taste of the previous one as well. But even just before you start, we should do this before.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, and the other thing is just having some water around. Have a drink of water is good. We typically have still water here, but having a little bit of sparkling water is nice as well. I enjoy it. So if it's going to clean the palate as well, we should have a little bit of sparkling water to help just basically get rid of any of the residue on our tongue from anything that we had before we have this.
And I'm not a sparkling water guy, but doing it as part of the kind of the process or the ritual is kind of
nice.
nice.
And it's another reason to use the glasses that I bought. So the other thing, of course, is eating something very bland. And so you'll see here I grabbed a few little...
I wondered what these were for.
Yeah, so they're little just plain crackers. These ones, unfortunately, have a small hint of flavor. It's like mild aged cheddar. But I talked to the girl at the store, and it was the mildest thing they had in the little corner store down the road. But the key is like not a salty cracker. and not something that's like flavored with oils or anything like that.
It makes a difference.
Okay, I haven't tried yet. Let me try that.
It makes a difference.
It does. And I didn't even have a lot, like I didn't have something strong on my palate, I thought, right? But, isn't that interesting? Wow.
Now I need sparkling water. You're turning me into a snob.
Yeah.
So back to the nose. What do you do? Are you
I don't smell anything different.
going on record?
I smelled pear right at the very beginning. Now I just smell sweetness. I think the original hint of pear is gone, but it's not. There's still a sweetness there. Like there's definitely a fruit sweet, not just sweet. Like normally I smell like a vanilla or caramel. I smell fruity sweet. It's pear.
I'm with you on the pear.
I think so. And it's not like a ripe, harsh pear. It's like a sweet pear.
It's a beautiful undertone.
And the taste is smooth from start to finish. I don't find it harsh. I don't find it bad aftertaste.
All right, so you finish that. I will read the bottle.
Already? Before we even go with the water?
Well, I'm already...
You're well into it.
Hurry up.
All right.
Fresh
Yes, sir.
and lively. Myth has a mixed citrus fruits mingling with... You're not going to believe it. Mixed fruits mingling with apple, pear drops.
What's pear drop?
I don't know, but it's pear something.
The essence of a pear.
And the merest hint of tropical fruits. In the mouth, sweetness dominates, then moves over a little to allow some refreshing bitterness to emerge, while the mixed fruits continue to dominate the flavor. What did I call it? I didn't say. Did I say bitterness?
I don't think you said. I don't know if you said bitter. I forget. I'll have to look again. But it was. You definitely said it was tart. You said tart.
I don't know if it's.
You said
like
tart.
Abruptness, but it was.
It was the word tart you used, but bitterness works better.
Think so. You guys can rewind. Gradually, all of the flavors simply ebb away to leave memories of a lively and light style of whiskey that is easy to drink.
Absolutely, and that's what Mike's saying. Smooth, right? It doesn't come back. It's not harsh. There's no harsh aftertaste. Very smooth. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm very impressed.
Penderyn Distillery, Wales.
Why don't we pour another?
Okay. That is really...
Add some still water to it. So
that's really impressive.
All right.
All right.
James doing all the work tonight. The other thing about the palate, which I also found interesting, and sometimes James and I will have a little sit before we start, chit chat, whatever, and we might have a drink. We should not have a drink of whiskey or anything that sort of even can linger on the palate, like a beer or anything like that.
So sparkling it is.
Well, no, but you can actually have something that actually has alcohol.
I'm gonna crunch the mic.
Sometimes that first sip we have will be strong, especially on a high proof, right? Like when we first tried the Aaron. Apparently, having like a glass of vodka and sparkling water will actually solve that problem.
That's another channel.
Yeah. We already did that joke.
Chasing vodka?
No, I was going to say getting drunk with James and Terry. But apparently, having a little bit of vodka or something that's a very less flavorful spirit, but still high enough proof that your shock to your system, the shock to your palate, has already been given that first hit. So, yeah, I still smell the sweetness. You've read it now, so now I'm smelling everything you smell. Yeah,
especially the pear.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I wouldn't say it changed that a lot. It's still smooth. It's less tart. Would you find?
The abruptness, that change in taste profile is gone.
Right. That's that tartness you were talking about.
But I still taste the bitterness. But it's a nice bitterness. There's another one where the water, for me, and I was not a water fan, that opened it up and just, I don't know, it's just smooth, and I love the taste profile of the sweetness and just a slight bitter. I like the bitter. One of my favorites.
Don't give it away.
Yeah, I can't
I know
give
what
it
you
away.
mean.
One of my favorites actually has that
strong
bitterness,
punch.
strong at the end. Wow, this is going to be really tough to pick our favorite.
Would you buy it again?
Absolutely. Trying to think if there would be a ceiling to the buy.
Came in a box. I know you're a sucker for the box.
I do like the box.
You're a real sucker for the tube.
That's what she said. I would buy it. I can't imagine it being a price point that I wouldn't buy it. I think it's a nice item to have on the shelf to be able to offer people.
$69.99. Not on sale. Actually, I shouldn't say it was on sale. I can't recall if it was on sale, to be quite honest. It was in a section where they had sort of like a limited editions or certain things they don't carry on a regular basis. So it wasn't something that's regularly carried in our store.
That's cool.
What should we need to learn for next week? Or should I rephrase that and say, what do you need to learn for next week?
Well, what's a good question?
I have so many. One of the things I'd like to really understand is single malt versus blend versus, I kind of have an idea what I think that is, but I don't know if it's just based on the words that are used to describe those things and the reality could be completely off.
Right.
So teach me or teach us, for those of you who are just learning as well, what is a single malt and what does it need to do to become a single malt? And what are some of the other words that are used on whiskeys that mean something real versus that are just like marketing nomenclature, marketing words, like small batch? Is that a real thing or is it just marketing terms? Right? So that kind of stuff.
I think that's a good question. I can look at that because I've always wondered what's the difference between a malt and a mash, and
give us some of the jargon, some of the lingo, and help us.
This is okay.
And pick a few words. You don't have to do them all. I mean, there's tons of different vocabulary I think that we could probably introduce and learn, and probably need to learn. But I would like to know a little more. And we definitely need to
that's good.
Learn a lot more when it comes to whiskey tasting. And whiskey enjoying, I think we've got nailed.
I do enjoy it. And I guess who needs to be an expert when we enjoy it?
Hey, the company you keep is even better than the bottle sometimes. But this bottle has been fantastic.
I love the pear.
I called it. You know what? I'm really proud of that. I didn't read. I honestly didn't read. I tried not to see the box at all. Now I'm questioning whether I actually subconsciously knew it was there because I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I'm questioning my own ability. But the reality is when it came up to my nose for the first time, I honestly smelled a bit of pear. So anyway, here we go. Look at this. All right.
This shirt, by the way, is that new?
It's actually not new. It's in the Terry's a little bit bigger than he used to be collection.
I'm there too.
How about the watch? Is it new? Mm-mm. Let me see. I can't see it. You're
same as last week.
Oh, the same as last week. Okay. All right.
When we did our Japan whiskey.
Yes. I actually really like that one. All right. Cheers. See you next week.